All eyes are on Bitcoin right now, but the smart money is buying these altcoins that I'm going to talk about. All the signs to me on the data I'm looking at is telling me altcoin season is upon us. It's right there in the data. If you are looking at the right data, with MicroStrategy and other large companies buying up BTC, game stock included, guys, I feel like they are buying the top. In this video, I'm going to go over the three metrics I've been looking at over the last year, and they have now hit my point of reversal that will send us into altcoin season. I'm also going to go over the top coins that people have been selling, like HBAR, Hyperliquid, KASPA, yet I believe they're selling the bottom, guys. We're going to go over all of this data in this video. You don't want to miss it, guys. I love you all. This is never financial advice. Let's come over here to CMC and see what we're talking about. And guys, thank you for bearing with me. I'm in a studio remodel. This is all going to look different, but it is coming very soon. But you might be saying, Freeman, 18 out of 100? You don't know what you're talking about. In full disclosure, I might not know what I'm talking about, but this is what I'm doing, and I've got data to back it up. 18 out of 100. That's when we want to be buying. My favorite investor of all time, Warren Buffett, said, be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy. And with everyone buying Bitcoin over 100,000, and even though I do love Bitcoin, I believe it'll be over $1 million one day. I believe there is more gains to be made in altcoins. And coming over here to the first chart that I want to look at is Ethereum over BTC, ETH BTC pair. And you can see I've been tracking this for a very long time, guys. And we've got a very good trend line going from the bull run top in 2017 to this entire consolidation that lasted over a year right here before it finally broke down. We also have the lows going back to 2018 and the lows here in 2019. So I feel like this is a very beautiful channel that we're in right here. And I believe what's going to happen is we're going to come down, we're going to get a peak, we're going to come in, we're eventually going to break up, because what I think is going to happen is that utility will be shown in altcoin, store of value will be showed in Bitcoin, but it's not going to be all altcoins. And I want to get into that in a minute, but this is looking like 103% pump for altcoins, which could be absolutely huge, because not all altcoins are going to raise up. We are too diluted right now, but the ones that do are going to make up that 100% and go 500%, 1,000%, 10,000%, guys. And so I believe if we pick the right coins, which I am going to go over what I believe in for large cap coins in this video, that it's going to be massive. And if you want to hear about any of this early, make sure you follow me over on X, where the page was 7,930 followers. But I posted this earlier yesterday, guys, talking about it, putting this kind of alpha out there. And I'll look at some data also. It don't have to do with altcoin season, but it has to do with only 30% of people that watch this video subscribe, guys. So if you appreciate what I'm doing, just drop a like. Make sure you follow Finance Freeman. Join the family, guys. I love to have you here. But the next thing that I want to look at is a Bitcoin dominance. You might have heard of this one. All the Bitcoin bulls keep posting it, and I would say this is a less strong metric, a less strong chart than this right here. This is very definitive to me. This is like the rise of altcoins, that smart contracts actually were a thing, and this is the going down of being over diluted. But what I believe is going to happen right here is the 10 to 20 altcoins or layer 2s that are extremely good. They're going to build ecosystems, and this is going to explode. And I eventually expect about a 50-50, which means a drop in Bitcoin dominance to about 50%, which this coincides with this line right here in between these two, 48% and 52%. So this is also a trend line going back to 2017, the top over here in 2020, and then we are approaching that right here, and you could see we have the same type of market structure right here. You could see here we made a high, we came down, and we barely made another high, and we're starting to see the same thing. A high, barely, maybe we make a high like this, maybe we come like that, but I eventually expect this to go down during altcoin season. I expect this to last until the end of the year or the beginning of next year. And the last catalyst that we have has nothing to do with crypto. It just has to do with the overall fiscal market. It is interest rates are about to be cut by the Federal Reserve. Whether it happens in July or it happens in September, we have to keep that looking. But you can see right here, the odds a week ago was only 12% of a cut. A day ago was 18% of a cut, and currently it's 24.8% of a cut this coming month. So this is different than quantitative easing, but quantitative tightening, where the Fed is lowering their balance sheet and selling things, is slowing down. It's went from 40 billion to 5 billion a month, and it'll soon, I believe, flip into QE, where they are buying bonds, buying more stuff than they are actually selling. But interest rates being cut are bullish for easy money. We see it right here. We can track it through all of these. All of these coincides with the Federal Reserve starting quantitative easing. That is what happened right here. QE started here, and this entire downtrend happened. So this is all beautiful. That is exactly what we want to see. But if you don't know where to put your money to make a 10, 20, 30x with relative low risk, then none of it absolutely matters. So I want to get into my top 5 larger cap altcoins that aren't going to absolutely rug, but things that actually provide value, actually provide revenue. I'm looking at these as a business, and we're going to get into all of these right now. The first one that I want to get into is Hyperliquid. This is going to change everything. This is Binance, Coinbase, you name it, absolute worst nightmare. This is an on-chain exchange, guys. You can trade everything. This is a true decentralized exchange for absolutely everything. You can use leverage, go as high as you want, go as low as you want. Everything is on chain. And they have a token that is Hype, a $12.3 billion market cap currently, 36.8 billion fully diluted. And look how strong this chart looks. It looks absolutely amazing, from $6 to $36. And this isn't just a Hype token. When you take a look at the revenue, look at this. Ethereum's here, Tron's here, Solana's here. Hyperliquid has about the same amount of fees that is actual money generated, guys. We have to view these as companies when we're looking at here. Hyperliquid is outperforming Ethereum, Tron, and Solana combined just about. Definitely Ethereum and Solana combined. So that is amazing. When we are looking at something that's going to replace centralized exchanges, this is the worst nightmare for Binance, for any of those. The next one, for people that are long-term in crypto, might think this is a boring pick, but I think as crypto gets more mainstream, XRP for global business, even government business, is extremely huge. And I have to say, this is one of the prettiest looking charts in all of crypto, guys. From 47 cents right here, hitting 2.2 cents over here, and still holding there. That's a beautiful bull flag, sending this directly to $4 as long as everything stays good in the market. And just to compare how Hype is to something like this, Hype is a $12 billion market cap. XRP is a $128 billion market cap. So XRP is a 10x from there. So if Hype happens to do a 10x and replace all the exchanges and everything, it'll still just be the same market cap as XRP. So XRP is one that I believe is amazing. A layer 1 that is proof of work, just like Bitcoin, that I believe nobody knows about yet, guys. Really, if you're into KASPA, you're a KASPA maxi, but this is the fastest open source decentralized fully scalable layer 1 in the world. It actually has more blocks per second than any other blockchain. Bitcoin, Solana, you name it. And guys, this has been at a still ever since KRC20 got released, and they're about to release smart contracts, and I believe that is going to send it through the roof. Currently sitting with an all-time high of about 21 cents, currently sitting at 7 cents from a low. It hit about 5.5 cents, then it hit about 6.5 cents, but this is still only a $2 billion market cap. So if we go back, KASPA is a $2 billion market cap. Hyperliquid is 6 times the size of that, and XRP is 10 times the size of that. So XRP is 60 times the size of KASPA. That shows you the potential. Even though this is the number 41st, 40th ranked altcoin, there is still a lot of potential in it. But that's enough carrying layer 1s. Now I want to talk about the hottest narrative that I think is going to happen in crypto. And shocker, it's not artificial intelligence. Why? I do think AI is going to be extremely hot. The renders going from a 20 million market cap to a $2 billion market cap, I believe, are far and few between. But as we get into tokenization of everything, we've heard JP Morgan and BlackRock talk about it. The first one to talk about the Bitcoin ETF was BlackRock, and guess what happened? ETF. So when you start talking about tokenization of everything, guys, the biggest players in this space is what I want to cover right now. And coming over here, Hedera, HBAR, guys, they are leaning hard into tokenization of real world assets, a completely decentralized network. And you can see all the partners that they already have here. That's why I'm so bullish on HBAR. And they've also got an extremely strong looking chart sitting here at 15 cents. Anyone that's been with the Freeman of Finance family since we were 100 subscribers, 200 subscribers, know I was talking about this way back here at sub 5 cents, guys. It ran up to almost 40 cents. That was an 8x on a very high cap play. Currently sitting at 14 cents, looking like it's making a double bottom here, guys. This chart is primed, in my personal opinion, sitting at a $6.35 billion market cap, which is about 3 times the size of KASPA, but about half the size of Hyperliquid right now. This is extremely strong play for people that are wanting something that has a big exposure to mainstream businesses. I mean, you've heard of half of these businesses right here. Google, LG, Models, their chocolate, guys. All of this right here, you've heard about it. Hitachi, IBM, guys, T-Mobile, you name it, they are involved with them, guys. And the chart really does look primed. If we go back even further, you can see how they shot up to 45 cents right here. Then they shot up to 30 cents right here. But you might say, hey, that's underperforming, but we always have to go to market cap for tokens that have a release schedule because they get diluted. So even though it was a 6 billion market cap back here, we've already exceeded that double the market cap. So if the token allocation would have been the same here as it was here, guys, this would have been a 90-cent HBAR. So that just shows you how dilution comes into effect. And that's why you have to look at market cap versus fully diluted value, because something that's a $6.3 billion market cap with a $7.5 billion diluted value, that tells you that about 90% of the tokens are released, versus if this was 6 and this was 20, that tells you only about 30% of them were released. But the last one is my favorite play that I believe has the combination between safest and most returns for any real world asset altcoin in this video, guys. And I want to go over Onondo Finance. It's a layer 2 built on Ethereum, essentially, or a token built off of Ethereum. They are all about real world assets, solely real world assets. HBAR, I feel like, has transformed more into real world assets over the last few years, but Onondo came in as that. You can see they have USDC lending over here, lend and borrow stablecoins against tokenized US treasuries. This is something that I believe will be big with all the major players. And you can see who they partner with: BlackRock, Coinbase, Mantle, Injective, Yearn. This is all extremely good for wanting a big major token to take off. And when we come over here, look, it's a $2 billion market cap. This is very similar to KASPA. So you're looking at something that's still a lot smaller than Hyperliquid, about 6 times smaller than Hyperliquid. It's still tremendously smaller than XRP, and I would never expect it to catch something like XRP. But if you take a look at Hedera, it's still a third of the size of Hedera, and they're focusing solely on real world assets. So I would expect Onondo to run if we get the type of real world asset run that I'm really looking at. Look at this. This is a beautiful trend line that this person drew right here. Coming off of there, it looks like we are destined for a breakout right here. It would not surprise me to see this thing go to $2. And it's currently sitting at 75 cents. Going to the all-time chart, looks absolutely beautiful. Pretty much been consolidating from the beginning of this year if you look right there. But guys, I truly believe altcoin season is upon us. I don't know if Bitcoin's going to go to 110, 120, 150. But what I do believe with all of my heart is that altcoins are about to take off. Smart contracts are going to be involved with everything. Stable coins are going to be adopted by banks. There will be no No more waiting 5 days for a Swift transfer to go through. Guys, it will be instant with crypto and with stable coins. Real world assets are coming, and the best layer 2s and layer 1s that can scale crypto globally will be the ones. But hey, these are my top 5 macro picks, guys. Big market cap. But if I missed one, let me know down below in the comments. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow me on X. Join the Freeman of Finance family. I love you all.